Veterans Rink here in East Haven for tonight's SCC Division II clash between the Guilford Indians and the visiting Titans of Sheehan High School in Wallingford. I'm Dean Cornelio and welcome to Guilford Hockey here in East Haven. The Indians on a 4-game winning streak enter play with a record of 4-1. The Titans are 3-3. They've lost their last 2 games. They've been outscored 13-2 in those 2 games. They are 0-1 in the conference, losing to Milford in their lone conference game thus far. This is Guilford's first conference game of the season, as their 4 wins and 1 loss are out of conference. Here's Horton behind the net. Horton centering. It's Horton, Fitzgerald, and Ring, the starting unit for the Indians. Venter winding and firing and tipped right on. That's Horton in front. Venter and Cataruza on the defense. Chad Faulkner-Filosa gets the starting goal for Sheehan. Will Valou starting in goal. He's got Albert, Kremser, and Capozzi as his forward unit. McNamee and Kiernan on the defense. The start for Sheehan in the opening minute here from East Haven. These teams met last year. Indians won an 8-0 decision against Sheehan in their one meeting in 2010-2011. Venter nearly turned it over, got some help from his mates, dumped in, and that's going to go for icing as the Indians did not reach the center stripe, so the faceoff will come all the way back. The faceoff dot next to Chad Faulkner-Filosa. Indians coming off a big 4-3 overtime victory against Newtown. Matty Doyle scoring the game winner in that one, and he's out there right now, one of the senior captains. He's set up on the wing calling for the puck. The puck instead goes up the middle. Winding and shooting. It's Nelson, a rebound try by Salkins. More tripped up, Salkins has it. And sent out of the zone by Cody Shanks. That's James Mackey. Carrying over the line. Rister, stick save. Salkins the opportunity. Trying to clear it as Ryan Kiernan kept in by Moore. Moore. He was snake bitten in that game against Newtown. He's looking to get something over for himself. He tried to stuff that one home. Moore centers one-timer, they score. Nelson coming in from the point, and the defenseman hook up for that one. Nelson from Moore, and the Indians grabbed the 1-0 lead, just 2:04 into play. Derek Nelson scored the game winner against Cheshire. That was a 3-2 decision here in East Haven. It was a 2-2 game, and Nelson, right where that puck is right now, Nelson buried one 5-hole for the game winner to beat the Rams. And he gets another one here in front, slapper wide, taken by Zach Cataruza. Cataruza, he had a hat-trick for the game in Maine as Guilford dominated in their contests up north. That one gets past Noonan. Picked up by number 10, Mike Capozzi. Capozzi tried the outlet. Turned over to Venter. Venter will dump in. Sheehan only has 13 players on their roster. The Indians really have to work. Get it deep, chase, tire the Sheehan team out. One thing that they score again, as it's Cataruza coming in. I was just going to say Dave Festa, the coach of Sheehan, harping on his team to play systems hockey, given their low numbers, but Zach Cataruza at the 3:05 mark makes it 2-0 Guilford. Venter the assist. Good early start for Guilford. They had trouble. They started strongly in terms of opportunities. Donahue, 2 chances. And Baloo kept it out. wrister, blocker save. Shot taken by number 20. Jack Petrick. So good to see some of the younger players getting some ice time already. Petrick, Tyler Salkins, also Kevin Gaudio out there, number 6. They'll change up now, but there's an opportunity on the last chance by Jack Petrick from that far wing. Fitzgerald's line back out. Fitzgerald, and it's out of the zone. As I was beginning to say, against Newtown, Guilford controlled the first period. Didn't have much scoring to show for it. Only a goal, and Newtown tied it late in that period. Kept it close throughout. There's a shot right on. Baloo the save. Here's Horton. Back on that ring. Comes to help out ring. Has the point man. Venter. Venter sends it behind the net. Fitzgerald and Horton in there for Guilford. Horton using his feet to control the puck to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will come right out in front, right on. Baloo the save. And he keeps Fitzgerald off the board, at least momentarily. It remains 2-0 with 10:31 to play here in the first period. So it's nice for Guilford to see some of their effort pay off early with some early goals. Despite all the shots they had against Newtown in the last game, it didn't happen that way. It was just 1-1 after one. Here's more. Roll shoot tipped over top of the net by Matty Doyle. And the faceoff will come outside. Sheehan controls the faceoff. Return pass to Ryan Kiernan. Indians with it in front. More looking for Salkin. Here's Katarusa. To the side, Mackey. Kept in by Doyle. Stick lifted by Salkins. Garrett gives a look, sends it back to the point. Katarusa used his skates, and Moore back to help him, as it was Shane Kremser who was trying for the opportunity for the Titans. Couldn't get there before Ryan Moore. Picked up by Moore, the line and fire. Baloo the stop. And the shot from the blue line, the slapper by Ryan Moore. Again, Moore already has a point for himself here tonight. He must have had the most shots on the team last game. Just couldn't get one. Couldn't bury one for himself. It sends the frustration. And early on, he set up Derek Nelson for the game's first goal, just a couple minutes in to play here tonight. Venter. Down low, Noonan. Past him. Semyon on goal. Sperry in front of the net. Montesi put it towards the cage initially. And up the boards. Hit there, still going. Shot on by Donahue. Montesi will get there first. Back for Donahue. Stops. Tries to reverse. Knocked down is number 17, Jim McNamee. Venter with the keep, winding. Stick save by Baloo, the shot wide by Montesi. Noonan takes a couple men with him, but Sheehan able to clear. 8.5 to go, first period. Guilford 2, Sheehan no score. SCC Division II contest, the first for Guilford. And that's going to go all the way down the ice. No icing, it's waved off. They say Nelson could have played it as it was cleared by Ryan Kiernan, the junior defenseman. And at the line, backhanded in by Kevin Gaudio. Turnover. Petrick in front. Picking up Gaudio, he shoots. Petrick there. Oh, another stop. Somehow Valou kept it out of the net. 2 good stops there. But good work generating a couple of opportunities by Petrick and Gaudio. Salkins in front, the younger Salkins, Tyler, trying to gain position. Cataruzza right in front of us here, hit by 17. Giving back to me. Carried out by Cody Albert. Albert trying to create a break for himself. Trying to get around Nelson, forced wide, lost the puck. And the Indians get it out. Picked up by Will McNamee. Carried in Petrick. That unit will change up. Petrick's still out. Good chunk of ice time there for the freshman line. Here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald lost the puck. That's Kiernan. Kiernan will dump in as he was hit by Nelson. 6:40 to play, first period. Guilford 2, Sheehan nothing. Nelson, one of the goal scorers. Backhand pass out of the zone by Fitzgerald. There's Ring. Has a man in front, gets it to him, he scores! Horton puts it home. Perfect passing play. Fitzgerald started it to Ring, to Horton. And tic-tac-toe, we have another Guilford goal. It's 3-0. Indians with 6:30 to play in the first. Good recognition by Fitzgerald out in neutral ice, and Ring to pick up some speed to get himself a little bit of room to flip that pass over to Horton, who had the easy slam dunk, if you will. Here's another opportunity up high by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald had a hat trick against Newtown, including a bomb from center ice. With the game the Newtown goaltender had, we still don't know how that one went in, but somehow Fitzgerald found the back of the net. So he had 3 in that one. Top the circle looking for Fitzgerald was Moore. 3-0 Indians. Here's Violet knocked down by Doyle. Moore. Up top, Donahue. Donahue will turn and wrist. He fanned on it. Slapped down the ice, and that'll go for icing as it was cleared by Will McNamee, senior defenseman, all the way down with 5:40 to play here in the first. Face off to the left of the goaltender, Valou. One back by Salkins all the way out of the zone. The Indians with it behind their own net. They'll take their time, setting up, breaking out, and carrying in. Here's Nelson. Salkins battling McNamee. McNamee around the boards the other side and all the way to center ice. Under 5 minutes to go in the opening period. That's going to go for icing as Salkins tried to avoid it, and he did, but it caused an icing instead. Sheehan last year, 8-12 on the season. They made the Division III playoffs as the number 12 seed. Were ousted in the first round by number 5 Newington Berlin by a score of 7-2.
Are they Division II? Is Sheehan a Division III?
They're Division III, yeah. SCC Division II,
right.
CIAC Division III. Flipped, and as I mentioned earlier, John, they only have 13 skaters on this team,
wow,
including the goaltender, so not even 13 skaters. So they're a small bunch, but they're 3-3, and they've hung tough. They hope to at least make the tournament again, and then who knows? Here's Montesi. Montesi. It's broken up by 21, Cody Albert, but it's Cataruzza. Gets the return pass, Montesi in front. Cataruzza tried to feed him. And a good job by Bobby Noonan. Centering, and Montesi tied up. Sperry, and Noonan came in with a hit. Noonan's going to get called for that. Elbowing on Noonan. So 4:03 left in the period, and the Indians will have to kill off. So Sheehan trying to get on the board. Slapper. Rebound try. And somehow it stayed out of there. Another opportunity goes wide. Good opportunity by Will McNamee and Jimmy McNamee, 14 and 17 in the maroon, creating an opportunity for their Titans squad. But somehow Faulkner-Filosa kept it out of the net. McNamee to McNamee. And it's sent past Cody Shanks. To it first is Cataruzza. Zach able to get it by the defenseman, or the center, Cody Albert, who was back at the line and all the way down the ice. Minute 15 remaining of power play time. No icing as that got by Jimmy McNamee. And again, the Titans will have to regroup. 3 minutes to go, first period. Guilford 3, Sheehan no score. Dean Cornelio, John Knapp with you here. And also some thanks to our friend Jeff here for helping out with some videotaping at the beginning of this one. So we thank him for his pick-me-up at the beginning of the game.
These 5 o'clock starts are killers, Dane.
Trying to jam it home was Fitzgerald on the shorthanded opportunity. 5 p.m. is early, John. I get it. I sleep through it, too. Sheehan with under 20 seconds left of power play time. Wrister, they score with 2:18 to go in the period. Ryan Kiernan gets Sheehan on the board. So the first man advantage situation.
Yeah, it looked like the first real scoring opportunity for Sheehan.
Aside from earlier in that power play when somehow Faulkner-Filosa kept it out.
Right. Well, no, that power play seemed to be the real scoring opportunity for Sheehan.
And they made good on it.
And they did.
So, for their credit, here's Salkins. Garrett around the net. Tried to center. He had Matty Doyle. Salkins. Assist to McNamee. Venter keeps it in. Now right in front of us, under 2 minutes to go in the period. 3-1 Guilford. Doyle plays it back. Venter, the lefty. Wrists one, gloved, rebound, and Valou able to cover up as Mackey was right there. Mackey battling in front of the net with Bobby Violette. There's definitely some rebounds, though, that Valou has been leaving.
Popping out of his mitt.
As we mentioned against Newtown,
that's right,
and we'll mention it again, the Indians had a lot of shots in that game, but no traffic in front of the net. And they've had more traffic tonight, but I think this is a different team, certainly, that Guilford's facing tonight compared to our last contest. Turnover, kept into the point, more, hit Ring. Ring still has it backhand, and Valou holds on with the glove. No rebound to be had there.
No, it's a good thing, too. The way that Guilford was stacked in front of that net.
1:11 to go. First period. Goals by Nelson, Cataruzza, and Horton for the Indians. Tipped, no icing. Cataruzza. Ring. And carrying it up is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald centers. Nobody there. And it's cleared. That's going to go for icing. No, it's not. Faulkner-Filosa has to play it. 35 seconds left. Opening period. One-touch pass broken up at the line by Ryan Kiernan. He's the man with the Sheehan goal tonight so far. Off the boards. Nice look for Horton. And it's going to go for icing. So if Horton was able to gather that in, he had daylight in front of him. It would have been a clear shot with his speed down the wing. Would have had a good late scoring chance, but not on that occasion.
That's a tough pass to Corral, coming off the boards, coming through your legs from behind you.
One back to Kiernan, off the boards. And here's the chance, under 15 seconds to go, coming down. Fitzgerald, pet save by Valou, and a penalty coming up to Sheehan. Moore shoots one, Valou the stop, rebound, side of the net, Fitzgerald, and time runs out in the period. A good rush, interference to call as the period ends on Sheehan's number 14, Will McNamee. So when we come back to start the second, the Indians will have their first power play opportunity of the evening. So the Indians got it going early with a goal 2 minutes in, and another one just under 2 minutes later. After one period of play, Guilford 3, Sheehan 1. We'll be back with the second in a moment. We're back for the start of second period action here from East Haven. Guilford Indians 3, Sheehan Titans 1. Shots in the first period, 23-3, favoring the Guilford Indians. Here's Fitzgerald off the draw.
Just remind the fans, Dean, that the Indians are on a power play for the start of this period.
That's right. Thank you very much. We had the penalty call late in the first, the end of the first, actually, by the time the clock ran out. And so Guilford's first power play of the night. Sheehan scored on its only opportunity. Here's Moore. He'll shoot. That's blocked by number 10, Mike Capozzi, who then lost the stick. Shot goes wide on the opportunity by Fitzgerald. To the point. Nelson. Over here, Moore. Top the circle, winding. Shooting one. Rebound there. And clear to the line and out. Good stop by Will Valou. Moore. Again, he'll shoot. He scores! This time he finds the back of the net, gets the monkey off his back after that last one and then that latest stop. But Moore gets one unassisted.
Drills it from the top of the circle.
A power play goal. A minute 2 into the period. And that makes it 4-1. The Indians with 4 different scorers tonight so far. Nelson, Cataruza, Horton, and of course now just Moore.
At this rate, it's going to be a long night.
They don't mind long nights when it's like this, however.
Apparently not, right? Who would? Well, Sheehan would, I suppose.
Sheehan might. Venter. Off of the stick of Doyle. Back for it is Will McNamee. Hit. Gets by Salkins. Venter will line and shoot. Tip. Rebound. Doyle there. Also in on it is Mackey. Mackey comes out of the corner. Wheels his way in front of the net. Lost the puck. And cleared to center ice. Venter likes the stick handle and dumps in. Mackey. Good look back to Cataruza, who kicks it forward. Sperry covering for him as Cataruza takes it down low. He'll try and backhand one in. Mackey the opportunity as the puck squirts out to the other side. And Sheehan clears the zone. Here's Venter. That's going to go for icing. He was looking for Salkins, but Missed it. I think he meant to pass that one off the boards, but... Or he just hoped Garrett was a little quicker. Either or.
I'm betting they were looking for a line change.
That too. Noonan, Sperry, and Donahue. Montesi and Nelson. Shot, stick save by Faulkner Filosa on the opportunity from the point by Kiernan, who has the lone Sheehan goal. Off of Sperry. To the point. Donahue, he'll wind, he'll fire. Nelson, near side, shooting one. Just missed the net. I don't know if that would have went in with a soccer net, to be honest with you. Nelson. Montesi in front. Good look back. Nelson, the puck finds him again, and that's turned over. But given right back to the Indians as it's Donahue, the sophomore. Bryan with a pass. Sperry. And that's Gaudio. Pass intended for Gaudio in front. The goaltender got his stick on it. Valou. And that gets away from Petrick. Here's Moore. And yeah, it looks like he's injured. So
players down on the ice. I didn't see the play where he got hurt.
Didn't either. Looked, at least from our vantage point, rather harmless. He's getting up though. Looks like it might be Ryan Kiernan, number 16, junior defenseman. He's been one of their top players so far.
A lot of times they might take a puck to the back of the leg or something, you know, and come up lane.
Tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. I suspect he got hit by a puck somewhere because I didn't see any contact.
11.5 to go in the second period. Guilford has added to its lead, 4-1 on a goal by Ryan Moore earlier on the power play. Carried in by the Titans, trying to get around Moore. Unsuccessful. Moore intended for Tyler Sulkins. Sulkins hit, spun around by McNamee. Gaudio sends cross ice. Moore will wind and shoot, and he scores. Moore again, stick side. His last shot that went in was high stick side. This one kept low. And Ryan Moore, after being snake bitten last game, now has his second of the night with 10:59 to go in the second period. Gaudio will get an assist. And it's 5-1 Guilford. Here's Venter. Venter, Indians, breakout. Venter, still with it. He'll slap one. That hit the defenseman, Bobby Violette. Doyle's at the point. They get him the puck. And now it's a foot race. Doyle gets there first. Sends it to Venter. Back to Doyle, up here for Nelson. Nelson likes the right side, cuts around the D, shoots right on. And Valou the stop. Nelson with a nice rush, splitting a couple of Titans defensemen. Mackey to the point. Venter shooting one over top. Nelson. To the point. Good movement here by Guilford. Another shot. Now it's Venter to Mackey. Mackey. Venter will keep. He'll wrist into the near corner. It's Ring. Billy, whose brother Mike will be coming back soon from injury. Look forward to having him back. A couple more games and he should be off the injured list. We'll add a little speed, some more spunk to this team. Billy, of course, a senior, Mike a junior. To the point, Venter. Here's Nelson. Indians have had control of it for seemingly a good couple of minutes. The Titans defense, that line has to be tired. Shot on by Fitzgerald. And that'll go for icing against Sheehan. Tell you what, John, Sheehan's fortunate that the rule's not like the NHL where you just dump it down and then you can't change your you can't change your line.
You know, sometimes that icing's a double-edged sword. And this time for them,
Sheehan
needed it, right?
Yeah. Coach Festa trying to give his team a few pointers over there on the near bench in front of us. Coach Russo's team has it under control so far on the far bench. Moore, head up off the boards, and it's Ring. 2-on-1 with Horton. Fitzgerald joining the play, and the pass is behind Horton. Not a good pass from Ring on that one. And it's dumped wide of Faulkner-Filosa. Donahue. Here's Ring. For Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald makes a move looking for Horton. Fitzgerald gets the puck back, still with it. In the middle of the ice, shoots wide. Another opportunity, side of the net. Valou is there. Over here, Donahue. Donahue. Little shoving match with the defenseman who swung a stick back at him. Donahue, that bouncing puck came to him in front in the slot, and somehow he couldn't put it home. That puck was rolling on him. Nearly halfway through the second period, Guilford 5, Sheehan 1. And a penalty. The official's arm is up.
Looks like Brian Donahue's going to be going to the box, I suspect.
Roughing. The call on Donahue there in the corner.
So with 7:37 left, Sheehan will go on a 2-minute power play. You will remember that they scored the last time they were in a power play.
That's the only time they really had a lot of momentum in the Indian zone.
Right.
They had 3 shots the first period. I think they likely all came on that man advantage. So it looks like a timeout has been called. So we will take a quick pause in the action. We'll be back, Sheehan, on the power play, trailing 5-1. Sheehan on the power play after the timeout. 7:37 to go, second period. It's Donahue in the box for roughing. Indians win the draw. Noonan tries to clear, and he gets a little help from the Sheehan defenseman to get it out of there. Venter now on the turnover neutral ice. McNamee. Interesting use of the timeout by Coach Festa of Sheehan. Probably just trying to settle his team down to get them some momentum, to get them they want to score here again, and that we get a whistle as the puck goes into the netting. Faceoff will come back into the Sheehan zone. But this is where they had success last time. I'm sure he's trying to set them up for that same success, try and get them another goal here, give them a little bit of confidence.
Dean, I'm going to ask a naive question. You get one time out of a hockey game?
One time out of a hockey game. So that's his lone use of the timeout. Yep. This isn't like college basketball where the last 2 minutes takes 20
Forever,
or 25, or the NFL for that matter. Penalty coming up to Guilford as Venter touches it. Or is it a high stick by Sheehan? Maybe I stand corrected. It was. So much for that power play.
I would suspect with the big ice situation here now, 4v4, that'll really give Guilford an advantage. Plenty of room
depending who.
Room for those passes to go. More room than it would be with 5 versus 5.
Will McNamee, the guilty party on the high stick. But you're right, and depending on the players he puts out in terms of speed and
right.
Here's Moore. Valou in front with the stop. 4 Sheehan players all in one spot on Carson Sperry. Kept in by Nelson. Nelson across. More the one-timer, he fanned on it. Easy stick save for Valou. Moore has it again. Gets it over to Nelson in his customary spot where he likes to wind and fire it from. That was blocked. 4-4 for another 40 seconds. And sent in wide of Faulkner-Filosa. Here's Nelson. Fitzgerald. Nice pass off the boards to Moore. Moore gets to it as he's defended by Bobby Violette. And Sheehan clears Nelson, holds up his man, knocks a man down. Mike Capozzi taking the worst end of that one from Nelson. Here's Fitzgerald. To his forehand try, Valou the stop, Horton following it up, and he put it wide, runs into the goaltender, and we get a whistle. One official has his arm up. Is he going to call him for goaltender interference? Horton has 1 speed, and that's fast. And it is going to be Horton. Goaltender interference with 5.5 to go on the period. Horton doesn't know how to let up and put on the brakes. That's, if it's a problem, in that case it was. Normally it's not, that's right. For sure. But the other thing for the youngster Matty Horton is that's a couple of times he's taken penalties in the offensive zone while his team has either been on the power play or in a 4-on-4 situation, and that's something he personally needs to work on, because that's not something you want to do on a consistent basis, especially against the better teams, because eventually it'll cost you. Nelson. Nice pass to Moore. Great look. Valou sent it around over to McNamee. Left on the side of the net. Fitzgerald lurking.
So Sheehan now with a power play situation for the next minute and 12 seconds.
And they pick it up here. Nice pass. Sent wide of Faulkner-Filosa. Billy Ring. Spun around, knocked down by Christian Giacondino. There's a Paisan. Ring to Moore. Moore has Fitzgerald. Moore makes a move to the middle. To his backhand, shoots, missed the net. Moore bidding for the hat trick. He's got the last 2. That would have been a natural hattie for him. Putting a little too much pressure on himself, maybe clenching that stick a little tight, maybe when he's going in that close. Has so much daylight. It is tempting. That would have been a shorthanded tally. 20 seconds left on the Horton penalty. Here's Venter. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Takes his time smartly, forcing Sheehan to come in on him. And now the easy breakout with Salkins. He's got Fitzgerald and put it right between his legs. But no icing as they're shorthanded. Time running out in the Horton penalty. He is now out of the box. And Matty Doyle steps on the ice for him. Indians keep it in. Cataruzza. That's Mackey. Mackey has 2 men open. He finds a third. That's Venter. Venter will wrist up high. Cataruzza off the wall. It's cleared to center. Intended for Capozzi, but picked up by the Indians. Now it's Venter again in neutral ice. Under 3 minutes to play, second period. That'll go for icing against the Indians. So they're able to kill off the penalty. No damage done. They still lead 5-1. And Coach Russo comes back with the younger unit. Well, Noonan's a senior, but he's
Yeah.
got Sperry with him, and Donahue and Nelson, and Montesi's a senior too. So I partially stretched the truth. Here's Gio Condino, number 8, right there with the puck. Had it taken away from him by Donahue, and that's knocked down by Will McNamee. Sent in. Here's Nelson. Nelson tripped up. Montesi can't clear the zone. The one-timer wide as the puck found number 3, Cody Shanks. And that's, unfortunately for him, exactly what he did with that shot.
That's a good one, Dean.
That's an easy one, though.
That was a
So
layup.
not very creative. Montesi in front.
They practically write themselves.
Sometimes you don't need Leno's writers to come up with something. Donahue. And it's backhanded deep by Montesi. Coming off the bench was Gaudio. He took a dive. Slippery over there. Gaudio has it now. Stays on his feet. Petrick knocked down behind him. Gaudio cuts in the middle. Has Sulkins with him. That's Tyler. Tyler's got the puck. Centering, looking for Gaudio. Went off a skate. And back the other way of the Titans. Knocked away, I think that was Cataruzza. Petrick battling. Jack has the same number as his older brother Steve, who recently graduated. Cataruzza will shoot one wide. So Steve has put pressure on his younger brother to keep up the family tradition with that number and make him proud. Faulkner-Filosa sticks it to the corner. We should mention Chad had a nice feature on him in the Guilford Courier, as I believe it was an Athlete of the Week type of profile.
That's right.
So look for that in a recent edition of the Guilford Courier on Indians goaltender Chad Faulkner-Filosa, the senior. Here's Petrick. 30 seconds left in the period. Has Sulkins, and he was tied up by Kiernan. Coming out in front, trying to stuff it home was Petrick. Here's Cataruzza. Takes his time. Cataruzza has Gaudio in front. Gets by everyone a delayed penalty coming up to the Titans. Faulkner-Filosa coming to the bench. Indians control. Final 10 seconds. Looks like it'll be a penalty right at the end of the period again, which for a second consecutive time will give the Indians a full 2-minute power play as we start the third period. So interference is the call. Again, as 0-0-0 is on the clock. So we'll find out who the guilty party is.
I suppose when we come back.
That's right, but the Indians get 2 goals in this period from Ryan Moore and up their lead to 5-1 after 2. We'll be back with the third period in a moment. Ready for the start of third period action. Indians on the power play as the penalty at the end of the period was assessed to Bobby Violette for interference. So Guilford again starts the period with a full 2-minute man advantage. They scored last time as Ryan Moore lit the lamp with his first of 2 in the second. And, well, hold on a second. So much for that one.
Yeah, what was that about?
Jack Fitzgerald decides to negate the
What did he do?
interference. Another penalty with
In the offensive zone.
in the offensive zone while on the power play. Well, wasn't in the offensive zone per se, but well, with the man advantage. So 4-on-4. Horton, stick lifted, has it. Another chance. The goalie didn't know where it was. We have another goaltender in, Joe Boyle. So Will Valou played the majority. Joe Boyle gets the start this period. Shot on, Boyle will stop. Horton, 4-on-4. Here's Moore. Nelson. Nice move. Backhander. Here's Horton. And Ring takes a man down, 21, Cody Albert. Horton picks it up the other way. Horton comes in and a stick save by Boyle. Horton again, nice look up top. Nelson, one touch to Moore. Back to Nelson. Blocked. Under 40 seconds left, a 4-on-4 time, and then a very brief power play for Sheehan. About 7 seconds worth. Horton lost the stick, still battling. Gets some help from Ring. Nelson behind the net. Sends up top Moore. He'll shoot one. Boyle. Got the paddle out on it. Got a top of his stick on it. Deflected it wide, and Sheehan clears icing because it's 4-on-4. Good action down here in front of us.
A lot of action.
A lot of action.
A lot of action.
Indians have looked good at moments here today and
Mediocre.
mediocre in others, and they got a tough game coming up after this one. They want to try and get things going, clicking, as they got Brantford coming up. Here's Cataruzza, and there's a whistle because that hit one of the beams up top. So Brantford is the next opponent for the Indians, a key SCC matchup in Northford.
How is Brantford this year?
Good question. We do have the standings.
Is that right?
And there's a number of teams who have done well so far, standing-wise. Cataruzza's shot blocked. Oh, hit the post. Another good opportunity for Zach. He's got a goal tonight. Here's Mackey.
So the Indian penalty kill is off now. Both teams skating at 5.
Salkins takes his time. And out of the zone. To answer your question, John, Brantford is 5-2.
Okay.
5-2, 1-1 in the conference. So record-wise, it's Milford with a 5-1 mark, leading the standings.
Who?
Milford, the co-op.
Oh, the co-op. Okay.
That hit from behind, a penalty coming up on Venter. And let's see what is called here. The Sheehan player turned into the boards, and Venter, they're going to discuss it now. This is an area that the Indians need to be careful.
It looked like Brian had tried to pull up at the last second, I think.
I think it was Venter.
Oh, I was saying Donahue, yeah.
With 12:02 left in the period, and don't forget, in our last contest, it was Derek Batty that got a 5-minute major, and this is not good as they're putting another man in the box. And if it's another major, you only get 4 majors a season, and then you're not playoff eligible. If that's a major, that's already number 2.
So who did they put in the box? They put 2 men in the
Two
box? Looks like 2 minutes. Oh, I see. Then
So it looks like if it's just a minor, little help from our friend, our interpreter here, Gary Drake. He's interpreting the calls for us.
right.
Yeah. So 2 minutes. That's a fortunate one for the Indians, and not being called worse than that. Again, that was not egregious by any means, but so Sheehan on the power play. Slapper that never reached Faulkner Filosa. So they hit from behind, the automatic 10 that comes with it. McNamee sends it up the boards to Kiernan. Kiernan on net. Faulkner Filosa got a stick on it. Shot, and they score! Shot from the point by Will McNamee. Another power play goal for the Titans with 11:24 to go. That's the second time they've scored from the point. This time it's McNamee instead of Kiernan. Makes it 5-2. So the 2-minute penalty should be over. Now I see someone else looks like they joined them in the box. No further penalties. 11:20 to go in the third. That makes it 5-2. Here's Horton. Horton into the middle. Nice little flip pass. Fitzgerald has Horton behind him. Gets it to him. Never got the shot off, and it's Kiernan the other way. Kiernan trying to close the gap. Gets to Cody Albert. Albert hit by Donahue. Inside the line. Now it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald shoots, and he missed the top. Looking glove side high. Had Horton with him. Here's Nelson. And it's Ring who runs into him. More slaps. That was tipped. Good save there by Boyle. It was tipped by Horton. Sheehan still trying to hang in there despite only having 2 lines of skaters. Fitzgerald. Across one-timer. And Boyle says no. Somehow that stays between the pads. Fitzgerald made a nice pass across. And Horton was in on the play as well. The Indians denied their 6th tally of the night. Mackey with Salkins and Doyle. Slapper stopped by Boyle. Here's Doyle, not to be confused with Boyle. Off the boards, and it's Cataruzza. First man back for it. As in on the forecheck is Christian Giacondino. High off the glass. And that's Nelson. Nelson has some room, shoots it. And Boyle got the blocker up. Mackey. Man breaking is Doyle. Kept in Cataruzza. Over here, Nelson. Flipped into the corner. It's Mackey. Now Doyle. Played around, and Mackey trying to get to it, kept in at the line by Cataruzza. 2-on-1 low. Across intended for Salkins. Now back for Mackey. Under 9 minutes to go in regulation. Indians 5, Titans 2. Dean Cornelio, John Knapp with you. Gary Drakes joined us up here in the booth. Tipped wide of the net. And again, special thanks to Jeff Horton for his help earlier. Shot on. Jeff stepped in and helped us with some camera work, so we appreciate his effort and stepping in last minute. Indians with it. It's center, and it's dumped in, and that's going to go for icing. One more step, not even half stride. Get to the line and dump it. Petrick thought he did. The official thought otherwise. Indians fundraiser, we should mention, coming up.
That's right.
Team dance, right?
Yeah, it's a co-ed dance, boys, girls, boys team.
Oh, I hope it's co-ed.
Yeah, a little hockey mixer.
Hockey mixer on Friday, January 20th, correct?
That's right.
At the KFC in Guilford?
No, the K of C.
K of C, my fault. K of C, the Knights of Columbus. Look out. Puck behind Faulkner Filosa comes out to the other side. The Indians. And now again, the other way, Kremser, number 22. Guilford will try to break out. Gaudio, and Tyler Salkins nearly got his first. Somehow Boyle kept it out of there. Boyle's had a good period.
He really has.
Slapper right on. Sulkins in front with Gaudio looking for a tip. Here's Moore. Ryan. And that one gets by Gaudio. Indians will have to chase it down. Donahue to it first. So see anyone related to either hockey team, boys or girls.
That's right.
For your tickets. Any parent, any association, coaches, what have you. They're available for about another week or so.
It's a live entertainment. Bring your own BYOB. I think there'll be
any food provided?
Bring your own beverage.
Shot. Good stop by Faulkner. Filosa stops the next one, and the net's off its moorings, much to the chagrin of the Sheehan player in front. Number 3, Mr. Shanks, who did exactly that the last time, as we mentioned. It would have been hard for him to shank that one, though. I mean, that was a wide open net on the other side. But regardless, he didn't get the opportunity. 6:43 to play here in the third. Face off to the right of Faulkner Filosa. Nelson. And it's Billy Ring. Billy down to Horton. Now I'd like to see these two, as the puck nearly comes up to us for a souvenir. I'd like to see those two in a foot race around the rink and see who wins.
Billy Ring, Matty Horton?
Horton and Ring. I don't know. Who do you got?
I don't know.
Come on, Drake has seen him more than us.
You might have to give Ring.
I know Ring can run. I don't know if Matty can run.
I know you might give it to Billy. Yeah, just for the experience. I think.
It's like the fastest skater competition at the All-Star weekend.
All right.
Those two might be in it for the Guilford boys hockey team. Just a hunch. They've probably gone at it far more times than we know, so.
Are you talking from a standing or a start or a running start?
I'm talking from a standing start and that's going to go for icing against Sheehan. From the red line, go all the way around to the other side and continue around.
I don't know, standing
a full loop, right? Full loop around.
You might give it to Horton for the start, but I think Billy Ring's got a faster top end.
So yeah.
.5:54 left in the third. Guilford leads 5-2.
Mackey wins the puck back. The slapper wide. Here's Moore. That shot was taken by Donahue. Moore in front. They score. Mackey. James Mackey puts it in with 5:41 to go from Ryan Moore. And Donahue will also likely get an assist. He had the initial shot. So that makes it 6-2 Indians. Moore with a nice look, though, and Mackey uncovered in front. Boyle to stop on the long drive. Mackey again, he wants more. Here's Sulkins. Winding and shooting. Glove save on the shot by Donahue. Boyle did not leave a rebound. So despite the win against Newtown in the last game, Coach Russo wasn't too thrilled for the victory in this one. I wonder how his reaction will be after the game. I'm sure the team controlled this one a lot more. But again,
well, why do he wasn't too thrilled with the victory because of the way they played?
Yeah, the way it shook out, and the way, some of the things that went on.
Right.
And of course the penalty and whatnot and the discipline, but
the shenanigans.
Right. Katarusa. So none of that happened today, so you ought to be happy with that. But
you would be happy, I suspect, but the Newtown team was a much better team, much better competition for Guilford.
Correct. That'll go for icing as Mike Capozzi sent it down the ice. So Sheehan, they've been outscored 13-2 in their last 2 games, 2 losses, and it hasn't gotten any better for them here this afternoon. The Indians, on the other hand, winners of 4 straight, outscored their opponents 28-12 coming into action today, and they've just continued on that streak. And again, they'll face Brantford, so any momentum they can get. That shot goes wide by Fitzgerald. Here's Cataruzza. Looking for the tip, and it goes in. That's going to go to Cataruzza, I think.
Billy Ring got a tip in on there, didn't he?
I don't know.
Gary, what do you
Ring
think?
pointed at Cataruzza.
A
So
redirect.
Cataruzza's goal. Well, we'll wait for the official call, but
I think we'll see. There it is right there. Nice. See that tip?
Yeah, tip. Oh, that's right.
it was tipped by Ring. So Cataruzza kept it low. Ring with the tip. Another Indians goal makes it 7-2. Oh, they gave it to Cataruzza. See, I got to go with my first hunch. Of course, they may change it after. Who knows?
After they see our replay, Dean.
Maybe, but that's Billy if he touches it.
They might have. Williams, Montesi in there with Montesi, Sperry, and number 9, Doug Williams. Right here in front of us, sophomore forward, getting some time. Ryan Moore with it. Switches spots. Moore will shoot. He scores. There's the hat trick for Ryan Moore with 3:52 to go in the period. And he makes it 8-2. Guilford. Joe Boyle had such a good period up to the last couple of minutes, and now it's just the floodgates have opened on him, the goaltender for Sheehan.
That's a congratulatory sign for Ryan Moore with the hats on the ice.
Yeah, where are all the hats?
They said there were a couple out there. The official just picked them up. Did they give Doug Williams an assist on that? I thought I heard his name mentioned.
Williams got an assist?
Yeah.
And there's a penalty coming up. So, of course, it can't finish without a penalty on the right. It's only fitting.
Kevin Gaudio
For the trip,
called. Will serve his time.
3:32 to play in the period.
The unfortunate situation here, Dean, is that with that penalty, it keeps some of the younger kids off
the ice,
off
right.
the ice that you would hope would be have a chance.
Although, if you're going to give them a time to practice their shorthanded, unit, why not now? Yep, Salkins, Petrick, right. Here's Petrick with it now, a shorthanded chance. Petrick, he'll shoot. Here's Kiernan with it. Cataruzza in front, Salkins. And now they'll go D to D. Here's Capozzi. Good look intended for Kiernan, but I think Sheehan is tired. They're worn down. We said they only have two lines. They don't look like they have much left. And the score doesn't help them either, obviously. 2.5 to go. Carrying in. Cataruzza cuts around the D, and a stick save as Boyle got his stick out there. A penalty coming up to Sheehan. Slash the penalty on Will McNamee.
Jack Petrick a little slow getting up, the victim of the slash.
So Mackey back out there with Salkins. Sperry. Sperry gets it over. Donahue has it. He's the fourth man. Donahue the shot. Good stop by Boyle. Rebound. And Boyle again. The stop on Mackey. James had a goal earlier in the period. How close did he come to his second one there?
Right.
Cody Albert over the center stripe, over the Guilford line. 25 seconds left to 4-on-4 time, and then the Indians will have a power play. Leading 8-2. Mackey. Sperry. Here's Mackey. Shot by Donahue. That hit, I believe, Ryan Kiernan. Indians on the power play now. Mackey will shoot. Save. Rebound.
Whoa.
And Garrett Salkins. Now Mackey puts it home.
That first one didn't go in, huh?
It did not.
I thought the first one went in, but it hit the post.
So Mackey, I think Salkins will get an assist because he's the one that put it off the post.
I saw John Altieri down in the neighborhood, but I'm not sure he got a stick on the puck.
So minute 19 to go in the third. Indians with a 9 spot. The same exact score as Milford put up on Sheehan in the last game for the Titans. Salkins, now Petrick. Williams in front of the net. Moore shoots. That went off of Salkins. Now Petrick. And it's inside the Guilford line.
Oh, where's it?
Salkins fell.
Looked like a trip to me, Dean.
35 seconds left. Ryan Moore will get there first.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't call a penalty.
Fortunately, this one's not getting ugly by any means. Nelson picked up by McNamee. McNamee collided. Under 10 seconds left. Pass in front. Petrick trying to put it in. And time will run out as the puck is cleared, and the Indians will be successful with a 9-2 victory here tonight against Sheehan. For the Indians, it's their 5th straight victory. They got a hat trick tonight from Ryan Moore and a host of other scorers. Surprisingly, after the last game, after Jack Fitzgerald gets 3 goals, he doesn't get one here tonight.
He gets shut out.
He gets shut out of all people.
He used them all up, right?
Used them up. And so the Indians improved to 5-1. Sheehan, on the other hand, drops their 3rd straight. They're 3-4. Their 2nd consecutive 9-2 defeat. So they will give it another shot. They play Lyman Hall next. The Indians, again, have Brantford in a big SCC matchup, the Division II side. So we will come back with more reaction for you after this one. Try and get a few comments from Mr. Hattrick himself, Ryan Moore. So we'll hope to be back with that in just a moment. Okay, we're back here with Indians forward James Mackey. James, 2 goals tonight here in the 3rd period. Talk about those. Ryan Moore set you up on the first one.
Yeah, Ryan had a great pass. He was down behind the net, and I just tried to get myself in position in front of the net, and then I buried it from there.
You're doing that all night, and it finally paid off for you. And then the second one got a little help from Mr. Salkins.
Yeah, he took a nice shot, hit the crossbar, and then I was just there for the finish on the rebound. So
The garbage. Hey,
yeah.
it counts just
Yeah.
as much. Again, you guys come out, and as I mentioned, against Newtown, and while you had many opportunities in that first period, weren't able to bury it. They stayed close. Fortunately, you won in overtime tonight. You really got it going early, and that had to be a relief for you guys to put some pucks in the first couple minutes.
Well, yeah, it was nice to jump on him right from the start, and No, we just came out flying tonight, and I think that was a good thing for us to get all those goals off the heels of that big overtime win.
Especially coming in with Brantford coming up.
Yeah.
And now Chad Faulkner-Filosa, as I mentioned during the broadcast, an athlete of the week from the Guilford Courier, and he's had his moments. He's had some good moments here, and talk about his play a little bit and coming in here first real season playing as a senior.
Oh yeah, he's come in and done a great job making the stops he's had to save, and working hard in practice, and that's all he can do. He's doing what he can.
And Ryan, I know we talked about his assist to you, which was a beautiful pass, and then he had a hat trick tonight after he was pressing a lot against Newtown, and that had to be a big boost for him, but for you guys as well, for him to finally start scoring with a hat trick.
Yeah, Ryan Moore's a great player. He played on an elite fall team this year, and then he came in and he's been doing real well for us this year. So what can I say? He's a great player.
And again, Brantford coming up here in the next game after getting a couple more wins under your belt. To be successful against them, it's always a good battle with them. What do you think you need to do after seeing what transpired here the last couple of games?
Well, I think we just got to come out hard like we did in this game, and hopefully bury a few quick, and maybe if we can put them away quick. But they got a lot of offensive firepower, so we got to stay strong defensively as well.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck in that game.
Thank you very much.
James, thank you. And we'll be back with Ryan Moore in just a moment. Okay. All right, we're back with Indians defenseman Ryan Moore. Ryan with a hat trick tonight, and we were talking about it during the game, Ryan. I know in the last one you were really pressing. You were shut down against Newtown. Despite getting a number of shots on goal, you were frustrated. Guess you got one to fall for you tonight, and then it just kept going. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. All season I've been getting a lot of shots on net, but I haven't really been bearing the puck at all. But tonight I got some good shots off, definitely, and these went this way for me.
Any area that you're looking at? It looks like you were going glove on him, or
yeah, I mean,
wherever was open.
Upstairs, the kid was definitely better. It was better to shoot up high on him. He's a big goalie, but he went down a lot, so definitely saw up top a lot.
And in this kind of game, obviously, it wasn't the same competition as Newtown provided to you. You got up early, but by the same token, you still had the momentum like you did against Newtown, except in that game, you didn't have anything to show for it. Tonight, really got it going early. Was that kind of something that was talked about before? Let's bury some early and make it easier on ourselves?
Yeah, it's kind of been the strategy the whole year. We've definitely got to come out because the last few years, definitely, we've always been a third period team and got off to a bad start, but definitely working on this year, trying to get out to a good start and put some pucks in there early.
And in this type of a game, obviously, it's also nice to be able to get some of the younger players out. They work as hard as you guys do in practice, don't always get the chance to play, but tonight, good showing by some of the younger players.
Yeah, definitely. Jack Petrick had a great game. He won a lot of face-offs. Shani Altieri almost put one in at the end there. Tyler Salkins and Kevin Gaudio throwing the body around, definitely.
So, and now, of course, after this one, you guys have Brantford coming up. That'll be a tough SEC game for you. After seeing this one, what do you feel that needs to happen in terms of hoping to be successful against Brantford in another division game?
I think we're definitely pumped up for Brantford. We're talking about today a lot of communication issues, and definitely got to work on that this week. And I think we're ready for them, though. Hopefully we can take it to them Saturday.
And another thing, special team-wise, you guys did get a power play goal. You also allowed a couple power plays against. And has it been talked about with a tendency at times to take an offensive zone penalty during the power play, and then it kills your power play?
Yeah, we've been doing that the last few games. Too many blowing some opportunities, definitely.
So something to take care of against Brantford, I would think.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, that will be the next one for these Indians, winners of now 5 straight games. Indians 5-1 on the season. That's going to wrap it up from here. Ryan, thanks for the time. Good luck against Brantford. For John Knapp, I'm Dean Cornelio. This man with a hat trick. Indians roll 9-2. Good night from East Haven.